Hey parents, I'm here to answer another question the parent has asked. They've asked, I'm worried about my child, should they repeat? You know, should they, like, I think the child's in year 3, should they repeat year 3? Or for you it might be, should they repeat year 1? Short answer, there's a lot more to it, but here's what you need to know, here's the crux of it. Is your child repeating going to change their life? Is your child repeating going to mean that the rest of school is much easier? Okay, because if your child is in year 7 and they're struggling and they repeat, are they really going to learn enough in that year that suddenly the next year they're back on track? I doubt it. On the other hand, if your child's in year 1 and if they're just really very behind in their reading and writing, and you know that another year of year 1 will mean that they'll be able to go into year 2 in a year's time on track, well, there's merit in that, there's value in that. Okay, so the real question is answered by, what's your goal? Your goal is not to just hope they come up to speed. Your goal is to know, are they going to in a year's time be better off for having repeated? Now, what you have to be really careful of is do not let people tell you short-term reasons to not repeat. The short-term things are, oh, what about socially? They'll struggle, you know, oh, their friends won't be there. That stuff is short-term. We have to be willing for our kids to endure some short-term challenges to get the long-term result they need. Another thing I hear a lot is, what about their self-esteem? You know, if they repeat, won't that be bad for their self-esteem? Well, isn't sitting in class feeling stupid every single day bad for your self-esteem as well? You know, like if you put them up to a year level when they're not really ready for it at all, then you're just guaranteeing you're going to hurt their self-esteem. So the idea that, you know, repeating might be bad for their self-esteem, you know, look at what your goal is. Is your goal in a year they're way better off, or is it not? You know, and then the other thing I'm thinking is a lot of parents want their children to repeat when they really don't need to, because a lot of the problems that kids have that parents are like, oh, they should repeat, they're actually very solvable. So say if you've got a child in year 3, he can read really well, but his handwriting's terrible, and when he writes, his spelling's terrible and all that stuff. You know what? If he can read, you can patch up, you can help the written skills very easily. Okay, you wouldn't be too worried about the spelling. The spelling's probably just a symptom of him struggling to read early on. With the ability to write in sentences, that's super important. You can train a child in that reasonably quickly. And with the handwriting, look, that could either be effort or it could be just a lack of practice, but that's very fixable. You might need an occupational therapist or some other, you know, some strategies in place, but there's things you can do. So, well, I guess what I'm saying is that we need to distinguish between what are the short-term dramas that you can patch up. You know, if they're fine in reading and writing, it's just the maths, well, you'd never dream of repeating for that. That would be ludicrous, because they're going to be fine, like you can patch that up. But if the fundamental issue is the child is completely off track with, say, reading and writing, but you know that a year of extra work is going to change that and get that child back on track. Like, there's no hidden issue in the background. There's no dyslexia. There's no sort of, I don't know, Asperger's or something else that's like driving this. You know it's patchable, well, be open to patching it. But remember, you're a parent, you've got to trust your gut feeling. You've got to trust your intuition. I've learned over the years to always trust a mum's intuition, always trust a dad's gut feeling, because they know stuff. So look, the short of it is, do not let anyone pressure you or talk you out of stuff. You're the parent, you're the consumer of education. You have the right to ask the questions, you have the right to get the answers, and make sure you're thinking long term, okay? And if your child's stuck but it's patchable, you know, you can fix it. Big Improvements Tutoring is where I work. We care about kids where, for us, it's not about the reading or the writing or the maths, it's about the person, okay? And as a parent, I'd love you to be in that same mindset, that it's not about the skills, it's about the person and how they feel and their confidence and them learning the skills, not about making it all about the skills, which it's not. Good luck.